change their molecular structure. Therefore, you can actually get them to levitate. And this is no mystery. There's Buddhist monks with their big horns that can sit there and they can pick up a big boulder and make it float in the air for you. You can go there and ask them to do it for you. Okay? This is no mystery. Okay? Everything is sound. Everything is frequency. All of Nikola Tesla's research was about frequency. That's why all got shelved by the Morgans, because they knew what potential it had, okay? So it's just frequency. They levitate and you can push it with your little pinky after that. Just walk it into position. Then once you get the rock into position, then you blast it with a frequency again to return it to its actual molecular structure. And because they're just slightly pliable as well, they just dropped into position. And that's why you can't get a piece of paper between the rocks either, because once they dropped, as they were dropping, they were also moulding into position. Just ever so slightly. And that's how it works. It's very simple. Built them very, very fast. In no time at all. And no, Khufu did not build the Great Pyramid. It's like who taught the university professors what is real and what is not real? Where did they get their information from? And the people that taught them, where did they get the knowledge from? And when something gets discovered, who gets to say that that's officially true or not? It's a group called the peer review. You've got a handful of people that tell the rest of this world what is real and what is not real. Oh, what kind of power is that? Talk about control. Okay? And the evidence is overwhelming. It's all around everybody. If you want to see if extraterrestrial life exists, it's all around you. Open your eyes. It's written in every culture. Every religion has it written in there. Even the Christian religion. If you know what the Star of David is, it's a Merkaba vehicle. It's a light vehicle. Okay? So now we're getting to 24,832 years is a precessional cycle. That also, when we talk about harmonics, we're talking about things having a relationship with one another. So we're breaking out of the mentality of ones and zeros. We're not computers, okay? We're not machines. We are biological entities. And so therefore, you've been conditioned by our society to think of ones and zeros. It either is or it isn't. Okay, when we're talking harmonics, it's not about that. There's give and take on either side. Like when you get to a radio station, you can come off that dial a little bit. You're changing frequency by a fair bit, but you're still picking up the radio station, aren't you? Okay? So it's not like your digital phone compared to your old analog phones. While the signal was weak, you could still manage to have a conversation. Now it just drops out. It's not there. It either is or it isn't. So more and more you're being, compressed into this way of thinking like a machine. Okay? So this harmonic equation has that relationship involved in it. Correlation is the key word. It's also a seated fractal. You can express wisdom in a mathematical expression called recursion. It's a recursive equation. So you've got your 2 and you go 2 times 2 equals 4. You start off with your 2. Okay, and then you come down, you go 2 times 4 equals 8. And then 4 times 8 equals 32. So you can see it's gaining upon itself. It's a compounding equation. Alright? It's like this. You have an experience in life. And you take this experience and you go, okay, I've just had that kind of experience. And then you move on in life. And then you're standing here. Well, wisdom is for you to come now into this next experience, but also to bring your last experience with you into this experience as well. Okay? And then you have another experience, and the way you perceive it this time is based on what you're going through now, but what you take into consideration what you experienced before as well. It's learning from your experiences, right? It's wisdom. And then you have that, and then you move on again to the next experience. And now you have 2 others that you've had. So you keep growing as you're going along. It's called wisdom. Alright? That's the mathematical expression of wisdom, is a recursive equation. So that's one way to understand that this precessional cycle, this cycle to end all cycles, has harmonically wisdom built into it. For us as universal beings to incarnate on this planet and to gather the wisdom necessary for our souls. The energy is there for us to use that. The harmonics are there. Also, you take the numbers and you go 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 3 plus 2 equals 19. 19 is a very important number. It's actually a mathematical expression of the goddess feminine energy. Okay, so the energies that we're moving into now is more feminine nurturing energies of creation. We're getting away from that male-dominated bastion type of energy of power, greed, ego, violence, control, all that sort of stuff. It's important that we all understand nurturing energies. It's due. It's well overdue, those. Okay, if we take this equation another step, we've gone 4 times 8 equals 32. If we go 8 times 32, all right, equals 256. Now the square root of 256 equals 16. That again is what's called a golden ratio number, golden mean. Now I apologise, I can't go through explaining what that is. It just isn't the time. I urge everybody to look into the golden ratio and the golden mean. And when you understand what that is, you'll be absolutely amazed. It is the harmonics of everything that exists in life. The shape of leaves, your body, the ratios of your hands to the distance between your eyes, everything's involved in what this is called the golden ratio. So it was imperative that it was involved with this. Also, 256 is a very important number because we have 2 magnetic grids on this planet. Okay, and this is where physics and the flower of life gels together. Okay, everything that I'm explaining to you, everything that you read about in these spiritual books, the ascension process can be expressed through physics. Okay, what they say is when matter and antimatter collides, they annihilate themselves, and all that's left is like a couple of showers of light, or just photon streams. Okay, what really happens is here you have your matter grid and your antimatter grid. Okay, there's 2 magnetic grids going around the planet because it's balanced polarity, right? You need to have that. Now, when they collide, when you can bring the 2 together, you create what's called the fisico. So in here, you have the Christed energy. You have the positive and the negative, and here you have the golden light, the Christ. Okay? Once you have that golden energy and you merge the 2 together, that then gives you the ability, right, to move in and out of realities. So what happens is when matter and antimatter collide, they merge the positive and negative side of polarity and they disappear into another dimension. That's what happens. And that's why they say they take. And that ancient symbol, which is in just about every culture, or ancient culture in the world, this is it. This is explaining that. And that's the ascension process. We will take these 2 grids within ourselves, we will create the fisico, we'll bring the 2 together, our matter and antimatter magnetic grids within our body embodiments, and we'll be able to merge the 2 and go off into another reality. Okay? Because you have your waves. Okay? And your first cycle is your positive cycle, and your second cycle is the negative.